So what actually makes Kim Jong-un so unattractive or ugly facially? Welcome back to LookLogix, everyone. Today I'll assess Kim Jong-un's facial attractiveness, mainly his harmony. Using faceiq labs, I've marked his front and side ratios, and we'll get right into the scoring for each of them, and then see his key strengths and weaknesses, and then his total score from a 0 to 10. So let's get started with his lowest score at 0. Fine boom. Right here. His deviation of his ipsilateral alar angle and his jaw frontal angle is completely off point. So the first thing I'll say before we go through the rest of these ratios is Kim Jong-un is classified as morbidly obese. He is extremely overweight. He's fat. He looks disgustingly unhealthy. And he looks terrible overall. Honestly, if you saw him walking on the side of the street as a regular, normal Asian person who's just obese like this, then you'd want to walk on the other way. You'd either switch direction or you'd switch to the other side of the street. His face is quite disgusting looking. Then his haircut. Now, this ratio analysis that we're doing is only for his harmony, which is including his, eye spacing, jaw width, jaw angle, temples, eyebrows, everything like that, his ears. And then it's not including his dimorphism, his height, his voice, his status, things like that, or his fashion. But I do want to include a little bit of that because it is really potent, or it stands out a lot more than his harmony does, because his harmony is just so low and disgusting. So unfortunately, his hair is also really disgusting. Honestly, what the hell is this? What is this? I was looking at multiple of his haircuts, and now he's almost 40. This is him in his 30s, I believe. And he looks god awful with this. Like, this is, you can see what's going on with his face. Very unhealthy. This is a disgusting human being. Absolutely disgusting. Vile. It's amazing, though, how if you come back into shape, first losing your visceral and subcutaneous fat, the unnecessary fat, then you can really lean out and look pretty good. I mean, he could actually look decent if he lost this excess unnecessary fat that he's carrying around from being so all right. Sorry. That's alright, but that's all I can. Guys, Kim Jong-un's face is so unattractive. All I can do to communicate the level of unattractiveness or ugliness is by making random sounds, okay? Let's get moving on. His mouth width to nose width ratio is a 0.18 out of 10. Vine boom right there. Jaw frontal angle is a 1.12 out of 10. Cheekbone height is a 1.81 out of 10. So unfortunately low set cheekbones. Now it depends on where you're measuring them, because in different photos he has sometimes higher set, like a medium set, but most of them are low set. So these are the best photos that I could find overall for this analysis so far. Eye separation ratio is a 2 out of 10. Mouth corner position is 3.74. Chin to philtrum ratio is 3.8. Overall, pretty decent scores for his solo scores by themselves, but definitely with the ratio. Actually, his ear protrusion ratio is pretty good. Yeah, the proportion ratios. Okay, a lot of his ratios you can see, boom, 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 ratio, are in the out of ideal score. But his scoring by themselves, like his ipsilateral alar angle, is pretty good. It's just, it depends on your angling. So his eyes by themselves are decently spaced with the ipsilateral alar spacing or alar angle. But then when you combine his jaw frontal angle, it is not ideal. His one eye apart test is pretty good at 10 out of 10. His neck width is 10 out of 10. But really he has a lot of excess fat, so that would probably be a little thin, depending on once he lost it and got to his optimal body fat percentage, his visual body fat percentage. Let's move over to his side ratios and see what he gets, and then we'll find out his total score and then check his key strengths and weaknesses. Before that, if you guys want to use this app for yourself and actually see what your scoring would be, if you're curious to see, and you get to see all your ratios right here with the visual analysis, the measurements. All you have to do is landmark your face right here, and then we get to see everything. I have a code for 20% off, actually. Best code, only for me. LookLogix. I'll put a link in the comment section in the description. Let's move over to the side ratios. Submental cervical angle is a 0 on it. Wow. Okay. 0 on a 10, submental cervical angle. His nasofrontal angle is a 2.07 on 10. Lower lip S-line position is a 2.16. Gonial angle is a 2.2. Recession relative to Frankfurt plane, he fails at 2.64. His nasal tip angle is a 3.53. Nasolabial angle. Here are the rest of the ratios for a side profile that you can pause if you want to see what they are. Honestly, really mediocre, really crappy. This is going to be a low harmony for sure. Let's actually see what it's going to be. Put your guess in real quick. All right. Kim Jong-un gets a total score of 3.3 out of 10. He has very poor harmony, About 1 in 14.5 people. About the bottom 6.9%. So about the bottom 7%. His side profile gets a 2.97 out of 10. And then his front gets a 3.5 out of 10. So really an unattractive face. And I think he would definitely boost up to maybe even a 6 if he lost all this unnecessary fat and then grew his hair out nice and healthy and long instead of shaving the sides like you're shaving your manhood and shaving all your decency and morality, because that's what you do. And in case, Kim Jong-un, you're watching this video, we'll go over your key strengths and weaknesses so you can see what you can do to improve. Balanced jaw growth, harmonious facial convexity, ideal ramus length. So his side ratio right here, the ramus coming down isn't too bad. It just depends. It's kind of hard to mark when he's so fat like this. Moving on, his areas of improvement. By the way, here are the rest here. His areas of improvement are his flat jaw, close-set eyes, round neck region, low-set cheekbones, narrow mouth, soft and weak brow ridge, mandibular recession, under-projected chin, disharmonious mid-face and jaw alignment, wide nose, disproportionate lower face, long chin or short philtrum. Insufficient eye tilt, overly compact face shape, overly full lower lip, sunken orbital region, overly protruded lower lip, overly rounded and undefined nasal tip, narrow forehead, downturned mouth, overly wide or bloated jaw, medium set eyebrows. Minor proportional variations are also a minus 0.62. So there you go, guys. This is what makes Kim Jong-un so ugly facially or so unattractive. If you'd like me to rate anyone else, I get a lot of requests now. But if you have someone who you think would be popular or would make a good video or a great video, then please put a comment down below. I will check it out. And once again, if you want to use that for yourself, 20% off with the code LookLogix. I'll put a link in the description in the comment section. I will see you in the next video.